everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Vikings coming in at 12-1, going up against the Saints, who come in at 7-6. Set for the call of this Week 15 matchup, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've gone a full half season since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Throwing on 1st down. Atkins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And the defense comes onto the field for the first time, and it is a unit that struggled a week ago.
So they're looking for a fast start, Brandon. Can they create a turnover early? Can they take the ball away? That's what this unit's looking for to get back on the beam.
On second down, it's Dixon. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. Now back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoff.
He's got a man. Complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Here's Myers now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 18-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And with that sack partner, he just became the all-time NFL sack king.
So now the Mount Rushmore of sack artists has been added to. This man now goes to the head of the class. Carve out a new spot for him. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming. third and short. It's Dixon. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a...
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
A good pickup there of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. This is Dixon, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. They've got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how insane.
And a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Atkins now. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Going right side here, and that's complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now Atkins on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter bringing the pressure again, and that is his third sack here tonight. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he can vault himself right into the #1 spot.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He does have the one interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1
every single time.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Atkins to throw. Looking to throw on second down. Touchdown! Vikings. A big play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's Myers now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now we get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. the shotgun. He'll look to throw. Got some room at the 30. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll look to throw here. Thomas has got it. Complete. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Back to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll come on for his fifth kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. They'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Let's go. Green. All right, now look at 56.
Here's Atkins. A final shot before break. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota. Well, Larry, I know it's late there in Orlando. This is a school night. Folks eager to get right back to the action here in the third quarter. This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Atkins to throw again. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 77 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Looking to throw. Atkins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Webb. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside. Probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him think. Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him again, and that's his 6th sack of the ball game, one off the NFL record of 7.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. This is taken around the 12. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the time we have to leave the booth. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean,
it's caught inside the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 75 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it with Dixon. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it, rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On first down, they go with Dixon. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. 2nd and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
All right, here we go. Blue Niners.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Webb. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. Detroit! Detroit!
Trying to pound it in with Dixon. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And at least...
And it's a fumble. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
And they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 40 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score.
3-19.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Daniil Hunter in there for the 7th time in this one game alone. And that will tie him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks in a single NFL game. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he will find his man on the outside. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't matter. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 30, 10, 5. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. They can't block him, and now with 8 sacks, he has set a new single-game record.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And, he'll be shoved to the turf that time at the 28. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Hot blue 90.
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. This is taken at about the 14. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in trouble.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Back to throw. Adkins. He sets to fire deep. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, third and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Here we go. Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Atkins now operating from the gun. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game.